from the Muslim tradition. And so when it uses theistic words, you just you hear them as you choose to hear them. You can hear spirit of life, eternal spirit, whatever. But we're going to tell the story as close to the tradition as we can. And it is attributed to the Mullah Nesruddin. Now, the Mullah Nesruddin is not a real person. He's actually a fictional character, but he is a storyteller of the Sufi Muslim tradition who is believed to have lived in the 13th century. And he is Turkish, and that's one way to identify the nature, the cultural setting of these stories. So it's set in Turkey. Of course, we know that Islam, worldwide, it doesn't have a single culture. Just a quick quiz, right? The largest Muslim country in the world is Indonesia. Very good. Most Arabs are Muslims, but most Muslims are not Arabs. Right? So there are many, many cultures represented in the Muslim tradition, and their stories come out of where they live and their times. This one comes out of the Mullah Nesruddin. And there are a lot of these you'll hear from time to time, and it's sort of like saying, once upon a time, the Muslims might say, the Mullah Nesruddin once said, and it's just how they would introduce a story. So now we're going to tell you one of these stories, and we're going to act it out for you. And so Courtney is going to come and narrate, and Rita Pearson is going to come and, with no rehearsals, we're going to demonstrate this story for you.
Reverend Paul and Rita were on a journey. It was a long journey, but they were prepared. They had their faithful donkey with them. Along the way, they passed a group of men drinking tea. The men looked at the trio disparagingly. One of the tea drinkers spoke up. "How can you be so cruel to let that child walk when you have a perfectly good donkey she could be riding?" Reverend Paul was embarrassed. So he picked up Rita and put her on the donkey to ride. A little further on their travels, the three passed a group of women who were on their way to market. One of the women said to her traveling companions, "What a shame! That child rides the donkey, making Reverend Paul walk. Doesn't she have any respect for her elders?" Reverend Paul and Rita were both embarrassed. Rita immediately hopped down from the donkey, and Reverend Paul climbed back on the donkey. They were almost to the end of their journey when another passerby remarked that it was shameful that he would ride while making the child walk. "Oh no!" Reverend Paul picked up the child, put her back on the donkey as well, and they both rode for a while. Until this decision drew criticism as well, when a woman shook her head in disgust at how overloaded poor donkey was, now that he was carrying both Reverend Paul and Rita. Well, that was it. Both of them got off the donkey. There was only one thing left to do. After quite a bit of effort, Reverend Paul put the donkey on his back and Now, it wasn't too far before people were pointing and laughing at the donkey on Paul's back. So Reverend Paul put the donkey back on the ground. The man and the child continued on with the donkey on their way, just as they had begun their journey. The man turned to the child and said,
"You can't please everybody, so just do what you think is right and please God."